accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I am just like,
OnFireTV.com.
And we are back. We are back. There are so many different months that bring light to very important information that we need to know about. I did not know that September was the awareness for IIH. I didn't know it was IIH Awareness Month. But thankfully, I have someone on that's going to be able to tell us a little bit more about this and talk a little bit about her journey. How are you doing?
I am well, kind of.
Kind of well. I got you. So please introduce yourself.
I am Shenee Woodson. I am the founder of Shenee Shares and His Favorite Ministries, formerly known also for His Favorite Magazine. And I have been diagnosed with idiopathic intracranial hypertension and PCOS. So I'm excited to be able to talk to you about that today, Mr. Diamond K.
Okay. All right. So those were a lot of words. So you used your what I call the SAT words.
Yes.
So I guess let's talk a little bit about what that actually is. I have a definition on the screen here. Does that sit well with you?
That sits very well because that's exactly what it is. It is pressure on the brain, and it causes headaches. And those headaches are not normal headaches. You're talking about migraines. I mean, migraines to the point where you can barely move. You barely want to talk at times, and it just messes up your whole day. Vision loss. Me and my ophthalmologist are best friends. Glasses. When it comes to vision loss, I can even tell with my glasses on now. I actually have an appointment coming up because I know that my vision is getting a little worse. Because if it's not taken care of, you can lose sight with this because the pressure on your eyes, your occipital nerve. What happens is it builds so much pressure that you end up losing your sight. There's other symptoms included with this as well: vomiting, nausea. Your fingers tingling. There are some people who start stuttering, memory loss. There's a lot of different things associated with this, and people are still talking about other symptoms as they're doing more studies with this, and we're finding out that more and more people are experiencing IIH. Is also known as a pseudo tumor, which is a fake tumor. What it is our body actually thinks that it has a tumor when it really doesn't.
So I'm very sorry to hear this. How did you become aware that this was something that affected you?
Well, I've always had migraines, and it was getting to the point where it was happening more frequently. And I'm like, why am I having all these migraines all the time? So I went to the doctors and said, why am I'm having migraines more often? I know it's stress. I was going through a lot at the time. It was definitely stress induced. So if you're stressing, please take care of yourself. But so when I went to the doctors and I said, hey, and I'm noticing I'm seeing all these little specks as well as I'm, in my vision. So they referred me to see the ophthalmologist. And when
like actual specks?
Yes, like little specks flying in, or little specks of light or black dots I would see. Like if I close my eyes for a while and open them, all of a sudden I would see these black specks just all over the place for no reason. Or I would have periods of, just not being able to see for like 2 or 3 seconds at a time. And that's scary. And I'm like, okay, something's not right. I'm supposed to be able to see. So when I went to the doctor, they referred me to the ophthalmologist. So when I went, they did a thorough exam. And first he said, well, you have papilledema, your occipital nerve is swollen. They thought I had MS at first, multiple sclerosis. So they wanted to rule that out at first. He gave me the whole MS talk and said, you may have this, let's rule this out first, see if there's anything else before we continue any other studies. Got an MRI done. They had me come back for another MRI, come to find out this is what that diagnosis was. And yeah, I was like, finally, now we know where the migraines are coming from and why I'm experiencing these moments of vision loss. And it went from there. So as time progressed, there was a moment where it was really, really bad. I was in my room one day about to prepare. I'm also a professional development trainer for Department of Human Services, preparing for one of my sessions to teach, and I passed out. My daughter was home.
Wow.
We was during the pandemic, so schools was not in session. They was in session, but they were virtual. And she ended up having to call my mom and the ambulance. And for like 15 to 20 seconds, I couldn't see. I thought I was out of here. I was bargaining with God. God, if
You
anything
like
I've
you thought
done.
this was the end?
Yes, I really did. I said, okay, if anything I've done, Lord, forgive me. I'm about to see you. Somebody, I hope my daughter's being taken care of. And, all this is going through my head as I was experiencing this. So when I got to the hospital, I had vomited so much, they couldn't even start an IV on me. There was no fluids in me, nothing. So they had to do a spinal tap. And that was actually the second time I had one. It's
Wow,
when they
that
take
is not pleasant.
Yes. They did a spinal tap and relieved some pressure from my brain from the fluid. I was okay after that. And then when I went to the neurologist again, they said if they have to do it any more times, they're going to have to put a brain stent, which is just like sort of like a catheter that'll help drain the fluid to come
Right.
from your brain. And it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And excuse me, usually I'm all made up, but this is
Oh
a
no.
good example, and I'm really showing y'all how it really was. Like, I had to cancel some things that was going on in my own life, and I'm not feeling well. So you're really seeing the real experience of what somebody goes through having IIH and brain fog, forgetful, everything. It's a lot.
All of these things
Yeah, it's a lot.
impact you. Yeah. So
Mhm.
it's as you describe it, it's really characterized by the increased pressure inside the skull,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And the pressure of the fluid that surrounds the brain is too high.
Yes.
And so it's just amazing that, I mean, I guess I could understand the severe headaches. I'm just surprised that it affects vision, you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, I can understand considering what it is that it would cause these intense migraines. So what type of medicine did they give you for this?
Well, I'm on seizure medications. I'm on
Wow.
antidepressants. I'm also on I call it just in case somebody diuretics, the pee pill.
Mhm.
Make constantly peeing just to make sure the fluid doesn't build up in my brain too much. And anytime any nausea, vomiting, any stuff like that. I don't want to name all the medications because one, they're
Mhm.
hard to pronounce. You see, IIH is hard to pronounce, so just bear with
It
me with
is. Yeah.
that. Bear with me with that one. But yeah, and there's actually one of the medications that my doctor neurologist, I call him my doctor neurologist, but shout out to Dr. Rabins. He is a wonderful doctor from Johns Hopkins. He prescribed one medication. I don't like taking it because it'll literally knock me out for the rest of the day when I do take it.
Wow.
However, that's if the headaches get so severe that I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
And I've only had to take in this particular medication twice so far during this journey. I don't like taking it at all, but the times I like it does help. But again, it turns me into almost like a zombie. Like I'm done for the day. And I now understand why he said let it be the last resort. Taking this particular one, but definitely this. I haven't had a seizure. I haven't experienced that, but I do know people. I am with a support group. There's Facebook groups and things out there that I've joined. There's other people that I met that have this and they've experienced seizures. There's one person I talked to. She stutters more when she's, especially women who go through their cycle during their time instead of getting it. She's been stuttering, things like that. So it's a lot. It's a lot entailed. And that's why not saying I'm glad I have it, but I'm glad that it's starting to be put out there more because
Yeah.
more people I think need to understand it's maybe not just a migraine, maybe it's something you need to get checked out and ask your doctor to look more into it because a lot of doctors are still not really knowing what this is. they're
Have
still researching to find out what's going on.
did any of your treatments did they talk about lifestyle or dietary modifications?
Yes, they're tracing some of it back to maybe obesity, and also again stress and your lifestyle as far as eating habits.
Right.
I was put on a gluten-free and sugar-free diet. I have been hard headed sometimes, but when I first started, the summer came around, and
Yeah.
but yeah, all seriousness though, but yes, sugar free, definitely gluten free. I have to be mindful of that, and also again, I also have PCOS as well, so I'm dealing with two different um, chronic illnesses, back to back. So I'm having to be mindful even more of my eating habits, because it also affects, the weight going up and down. They're associating IH with weight gain. However, some people that I have talked to, I mean, they're small. Their weight is actually, they would be considered, underweight. However, they're still experiencing IH. So, they everybody isn't the fact that it's obese and is geared towards women of childbearing years, but
Yeah.
that is weight is a part of it, and eating healthier can help. And
Absolutely.
I've had met two people already who don't have it anymore. They're on remission, and the doctor told them make sure they maintain their weight.
Right, right. And with regards to the affected populations, instances in the general population, about one per 100,000.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and in some instances, it can affect men and children as well, but lower frequency of that. So I'm glad that you have a support group and folks that you can talk to about this. And so, with regards to September being a month to bring awareness to this, what do you do in September normally?
Well, this is my first time being more involved with it because I've recently been diagnosed.
Mhm.
But on my end, I'm actually going to do like you're doing, interviewing, processing, and
Wonderful.
interviewing people who have it. It's been hard trying to get all of us together. I actually just put a post on my page saying, "Please pray for us," trying to get all of us together because my partner and one of my partners, she's actually in the hospital now. And they found out she also has Crohn's disease
Oh,
alongside of
wow.
this. So I'm trying to deal with that. And then I have, I've been posting every day or every other day different symptoms, what is related to the, and some facts in regards to IIH. And in the future, I want to do like, events to bring awareness to it, have different panel discussions, all those things. That's in the works as well. With things I've done in the background, I think that's um, not saying I've been diagnosed for a purpose, but I'm using this for a purpose, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, it
I'm
makes it
not
makes
gonna,
it makes
yeah,
a lot of
I'm
sense.
not going to sit back and say, "Oh, I got it." I'm gonna, fall back and just forget everything else I do. I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do now. Is because I've had my shoes in a lot of different things, so I'm gonna utilize that in order to bring awareness and help other people to know what's going on. So again, this is my first month, sharing it because I've just been diagnosed, but it's a lot more coming. I'm not just using September to do so, even though it is awareness. But I have some other things that's brewing that I want to, be on different platforms and use my own platform to do so. We
Absolutely.
talking about doing even a walk as well, to bring awareness because you got other walks out there. Not
Yeah,
saying not putting them down because
of course.
I walk for MS. Actually, my sister has MS, so just the same, some of the same things that you see other awarenesses do, just doing it on for IH as well.
Right, right. Well, I'm really glad that you are open to talk about this, and other people that are dealing with this can kind of have some comfort in knowing that they're not alone in being affected by this and all of that. You talked about your platform a bit. Why don't you shout out your social media and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, well, everything is under Shenee Shares. I just launched my own business called Shenee Shares. Shenee Shares, hashtag Shenee Shares, at Shenee Shares, social media, all of it is Shenee Shares.
Yeah.
The reason why I call it Shenee Shares because Shenee is sharing her life, journey in order to help other people. I feel like me being transparent is going to be able to help other people to be able to move forward with the things that they want to do. With with my faith, just letting people know she's going through this, but she's still pushing. She's still doing what she needs to do. So I'm very transparent with a lot of things that I do with Shenee Shares. I also share my resources as well. So Shenee is just sharing.
That is good. That
That's
is
what
good.
it is. Some people know me from doing the magazines and interviews and stuff from in the past. I've interviewed some. I can name drop Michael B. Jordan, Sterl K. Brown, etc. However, I'm taking this time out just to just help other people to be able to reach their goals as well, but sharing my journey in the process.
Right, right, and that is so good. So you say Shenee Shares. I like that. It's a catchy name. It's a catchy name. It's a catchy name. Whenever you have something that you need to share, you know how to get in touch with me. So definitely, you have an open invitation anytime that you need to share something here.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And same here.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. I appreciate you taking some time to chop it up with me.
Of course. I was like, oh my gosh, no, Diamond, let me get it on here. I gotta get it together, pull it together. I'm not all the way made up and face beat and stuff, but I gotta get on here. It's
Oh,
my
you look great.
my
Don't even
buddy.
try.
Thank
You're
you, thank
fine. You're
you.
fine. All right. Again, Shenee Shares. Shenee Woodson. Thank you so much for
Thank
stopping through the
you.
Diamond K Show.
Of course.
All right, and I think that's going to do it for today. Of course, I'll be back here tomorrow. On Fire TV is an advertiser-supported audio and video network. Of course, we talk breaking news and so much more. We produce podcasts and TV shows covering topics that are important to our culture. Of course, onfire-tv.com, radioonfire.com is where you go. So I have so many announcements coming up. I don't even know where to begin. We have 5 new shows that are going to be launching. So I will be talking a little bit about that tomorrow. And I'll be back here 6 p.m. tomorrow, of course, for the Diamond K Show. And if you miss any episodes of our programs, of course, on fire-tv.com, on YouTube, anywhere you get podcasts, just search the Diamond K Show or on fire-tv.com/Diamond K. And